Welcome to the world of Slay the Spire, a dungeon exploration, deck building, risk-taking game that'll have you coming back to it after you promise you wouldn't log another 100 hours. I'm FortDefender, and welcome to my review of Slay the Spire. The first question that probably comes to mind is, what is Slay the Spire? And that is a completely valid question, to which I would reply, a game that is like no other. Megacrit, the game's developer, has made something truly remarkable for a single-player game. What sets it apart is that Slay the Spire's main mechanic is deck building within a video game. Now, I've come across deck building games before, but not where it's how you play the game and it drives the lore of the game. For example, the more times you attempt to tame the Spire, the more skills you learn, and hence, new cards to represent these skills are unlocked. The cards also reveal bits of lore about the past of the game, like where the Ironclad draws his strength from. Now, I could talk about the mechanics of the game forever, but what I haven't seen videos dive into right away is how to even play the game. Believe me, it's daunting at first when you're asked to play a game in a way you normally wouldn't. But let's start simple. Your goal is to make it to the end of the dungeon, fight the boss, and win. That way you can learn more about how to uncover the infamous 4th floor. To do this, you need to make it through each floor and not die in the process. Breaking it down even further, you need to be calculated in each individual battle and the path you take as you progress. And what do I mean about being calculated? I mean taking the right risks and playing it safe when necessary. Let's start with the first battle, for example. You enter the dungeon and encounter some fuzzy, caterpillar-looking monsters called louses. Above their heads is an icon that shows their intentions, and these guys are not friendly. They intend to hit you for 5 and 6 damage apiece. To counter this, you either need to block their damage, eliminate them before they can hit you, or decide if it's in your best interest to take the damage and use your cards to attack instead. Hence, this is where the calculated risks come in. If you look around more, you will see that you have a hand of cards and a symbol denoting your current mana, which usually is 3. To play your cards, you need to use your mana, which is also located on the corner of the cards. Choosing your actions for a turn heavily depends on what your current hand is and predicting what your hand could be in the future. You don't want to waste a turn to block when you could be attacking, only to draw all blocks the next turn, which could prolong the battle and lead to further complications. A general rule of thumb is to end battles as quickly as possible, as many enemies get stronger over time. But congratulations, you've won your first battle and now you have to make some decisions. The map legend should make it pretty clear about what you will encounter on each route, but choosing paths also requires other factors as well. You usually don't want to go to a merchant if you have no money. You don't want to visit an elite boss if you have almost no health. Studying these icons and planning out your route ahead of time will greatly increase your chances of success. It's like a game about overthinking, which is probably why I understand it so well. The next course of action is to understand how different elements impact your gameplay, and the most important of these are potions, relics, buffs and debuffs, and of course, the cards. Potions are pretty simple. They describe exactly what they do. They might give you an extra card, heal some health, give you a buff, or even prevent you from dying. You can find these after battles, from encounters, or even from the merchant himself. Relics are items you can find that can greatly help you and can even change your playstyle for the rest of the game. Some allow you extra cards, strength, or they might even let you manipulate your path in the dungeon. Buffs and debuffs are pretty straightforward as well. Some increase your damage per turn, like strength, or some might even prevent all but 1 damage from an attack like intangible. And then, the cards, the most important element of the game. Learning the cards and learning how to build decks that combo cards is fundamental to winning in Slay the Spire. For those with TCG experience, you probably understand this concept pretty well. But for the players coming into this unique realm of video gaming with no outside experience, it can be a bit much at times. It's good to learn what cards your class can pick up, and it might even be helpful for you to look online to see what other deck combos people are using. Overall, Learning is a key factor in this game, and experience is your best friend. As you make your way through the dungeon with your tools at hand, you'll encounter many life or death scenarios and decisions that will impact the outcome of the rest of the game, such as choosing one path over another, or choosing to upgrade instead of healing at a rest site. But even with hundreds of hours across multiple platforms, I am still prone to making bad decisions and just losing rounds to playing RNG at times. So, it's really important to not get discouraged. Plus, as you explore the dungeon each time, you'll learn of new secrets, techniques, and relics that can help guide you in your next attempts to slay the Spire. And that's what makes this game so engaging. It's adapted for you to learn as you play to improve your chances each time. Even with all this said, I've barely scratched the surface of the gameplay, mechanics, and the lore behind this incredible game. I could spend hours explaining the game, but I find the best method is to learn from trial and error. I hope those watching found this video helpful, or maybe it even encouraged you to try out this fascinating game. I would love to hear more about your experiences with it down in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you around.